So guys, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is finally here. It's time to face the music. I don't feel ready for this film. I'm going to go see it today. I'm actually going to go very soon, and I don't feel ready for this, honestly. I got my rocket toy with me here. You're going to be safe. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Positive mental attitude, man. I'm nervous to watch this, but anyways, here's future me with my review. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today it's finally time to review Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And with all that said, roll the intro. Now, as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I absolutely love the first one. I do really enjoy the second one, and of course the shorts and the specials are just amazing as well, and I love them. Infinity War and Endgame, I really enjoyed playing through the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, which was really fun as well. And I've been really excited for this film. This and the Mario movie I've been super excited for, but very nervous for this film, because this film has been built up to be the ending of the Guardians, this emotional ride. Let's see. So with that said, let's get started with my review. Now, as this is the final Guardians film, this film is for the fans. This is for the fans who've been there since the very beginning. And this film is amazing. This film pays off so much. Throughout all these different Guardians adventures, whether it's in Infinity War, Endgame, the Guardians films, the holiday special, they've hinted at little things, and they all pay off in this film. So there's so many different things which are referenced in this film, and then it's paid off in Guardians 3. For example, Rocket's past. It's not really been a crazy thing which they've dug into in the Guardians films. They've shown little references, like when he takes his t-shirt off. But this film properly dives into Rocket's backstory. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit more of that later, because there's some other stuff to talk about with that. And honestly, this film works so well. It balances humour and emotion very well, because this film goes through a wide range of emotions. It's funny, it is emotional, it just works so well. From the opening scene, you can see this film is different. It's not all fun and jokes, it's not all silly. This film is different. And I don't want to say what the opening scene is, but just within the first 10 minutes, you know the tone of this film, you know the mood, you know what you're about to watch. And I think that's why this film paid off really well, is because it references so many little things throughout the film which are able to pay off in the third act. And they are so satisfying. This, if you're worried, how does this conclude the Guardians trilogy? Without saying too much, this is a satisfying ending to the Guardians trilogy. This is already my favourite Guardians film, I'm going to say, but this is a satisfying ending to one of the best MCU trilogies, and one of the best trilogies I've ever seen. The film works really well. The last half an hour, is amazing. It pays off. It's so cool looking. The CGI is absolutely amazing, which is a problem most MCU films have had a problem with recently. And it has a story which makes you care and makes you want to see more of. So then it even pays off even more. And the film just pays off. I'm going to say that the film works on an emotional level, a funny level, and a story level. And the Guardians are they have the characters sorted now. You know who these characters are, and you just want to continue their journey. And now that these characters, they're a family now. When you see the characters have their dull moments, have their ups and downs, see them argue, it's emotional to watch, because they are a family. They're all they've got, and if they lose them, that's it. That's all they've got. So there are so many points in the film where it just builds tension, and so many little things which you probably won't notice first time round. Noticing it this time pays off. Another thing here is that this film doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel anything like other MCU films have recently, apart from No Way Home. It feels like time was spent into this. They poured their heart and soul into it. There's not bad CGI. There's no bad, like, humour, anything like that. The jokes land. You got it. Like, the humour is amazing in this film. Like, I've always loved the Guardians' humour. It's always made me just die of laughter, especially like Drax and Rocket. Just made me laugh so hard. And this one is so funny at the same time. So I'm really glad that we got some good humour in this one. And the final thing that I want to talk about just in this section before I go into any other bits is that this is like the good old days of Marvel. This is when a new film would come out, you would get excited, you'd get pumped. And I think the things with like all the MCU films last year, there was so many different projects. Thor: Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, all the series, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. But this one feels fresh. It feels new. And it doesn't feel like we're just going through another action film which is going to have loads of humour. No, it has a story that works. So, next thing I'm going to come into here is that Rocket's backstory. Now, Rocket's backstory is so emotional. Like, the story is gut-wrenching. I don't want to say anything of it, what it is, but if you are someone who is quite sensitive to things like animal cruelty, this might not be the MCU film for you. This may be one that you might want to skip, maybe wait till it's on Disney Plus, so you can skip the bits which are quite emotional, because there are some real emotional scenes in this film. Like, I would say this is the most emotional MCU film. More emotional than Endgame, more emotional than Infinity War. And also, that being said, it's probably the darkest MCU films, where there's quite gory images in this film. There's like a few scenes that I can picture in my head, like, are you really allowed to show that in the age rating that this film has? Because it is pretty dark. Some of the moments, just a few little moments in there, not crazy, but there are definitely some scenes in there, and it's definitely got more swearing than some of the other MCU films. Now, none of these are bad things that I'm pointing out. They're just things which you might want to consider before watching this film, because there are some scenes which aren't going to be for everyone. This is not an MCU film which everyone is going to love and enjoy. And there are some moments which I can think in my head, like, I questioned when I came out of this film, could I sit through that again? Because I don't know if I could actually, like, go see that again. I think I would have, like, wait. Like, there are some scenes where I'm like, could I actually sit through that again? Because it's so gut-wrenchingly painful, some of the moments in this film. And I think the thing with it is, because you've been on this long journey with these characters, it pays off. But once you learn new things about the characters, it hits you differently than it probably would if they hadn't have done some of the other things in this film. Off that bit, though, it's great. So we have some new characters in here. We have Adam Warlock, who I do want to point out, he's not like, he doesn't have a crazy big role. He kind of does feel a little forced at times, just a little bit. Personally, I didn't mind it. I feel like I was actually alright with it. Like, I thought he got the right role. I think maybe he was over-teased a bit with the credit scene to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So maybe he was a little bit forced. Maybe he should have had more of a role. But I think because this is the last Guardians film, it's got high stakes. I think that I don't think any more would have worked. But if they cut him completely from the film, it wouldn't have changed a crazy lot. So, you know, just a thing in there. And there are just, the action sequences in this film are really good. There are just so many moments which are really cool. There's one, like, hallway fight scene which is awesome. It is so cool to watch, because the way that they shoot it with the different lenses and capturing all these different moments is really cool, because you've got all your favourite some of your favourite Marvel characters together. It really pays off, because It's quite close to the end of the film, not like right at the end of the film, but it's really cool to watch. It is such a cool scene to see these characters ripping up these monsters, fighting all these monsters, and the music is great. It's got some really good music cues in this. There is some really good 80s, 60s, 70s, 90s as well, even some early 2000s. Great songs in there, great song choices, and it's probably got like the best soundtrack out of them all. Our villain here, High Evolutionary, is very good. I mean, he's a villain which you hate. You'll probably understand that more when you see the film, or if you have already seen the film. He is a villain to hate. Like, I hated him. My whole family, everyone who watched it with, hated him. Because he's this cruel character who has no remorse. He doesn't care what he's doing as long as he gets what he wants to done. He doesn't care if it harms, hurts anyone. He just wants to do his own thing. He cares about himself. And throughout the film, you want him to be defeated. You want to see him die. You want to see him suffer. So whenever there is a scene of success, it feels earned. Everything in this film feels earned because it is built up. They spend time on these little things and also the big things which are able to pay off in the second or third act. So I think that's where this film comes out on top, is that it is just a great ending, and everything about this film is amazing. Like, they put so much effort into making this not just like all the other MCU films that have been just not as good. Like, this is possibly the best MCU since Endgame, and No Way Home exists. This and No Way Home are like just amazing to me. Like, it's top tier MCU. Like, this is my favourite Guardians, and it's definitely going like top 5, maybe top 6 MCU films, because it is amazing. This is an emotional roller coaster, and I highly recommend that you watch this film because it is amazing. So with that said, I'm doing it again, just like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm giving this film a 10. Love this film so much, and although I don't feel ready to watch it again, I love it so much. It's such a good film. It is amazing. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but Drax is back here, but he's quite hard to see because, you know, he's like invisible. So he is there. So he's been watching you guys while I've been reviewing this film. Oh well, he's there. So yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do comment, like, and subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do not spoil the film in the comments, because this is not a film that you want spoiled for you. So please stay off the internet. Be careful. But with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.